Here we go again with another exercise. This will be a fun one because we're going to try to work on an image directly in 32-bit. So we're not going for the classic workflow. We're going to stay 32-bit. Why that? Because we rendered in Corona and we saved all the light mix passes, which are basically layers that stores informations about single lights or maybe a group of light, but I would say the same light repeated over and over, like these full spotlights. Okay, and with those layers, with those passes in 32-bit, of course you can work and you can play with the exposure and you can play with the gamma, which is great, but also you can compose them with the strength you want, because you can just go down with opacity, change the blending mode, and the blending mode we are going to use mostly this time will be linear dodge add, which works in 32-bit when you have more than basically one layer with lights on in them. Okay, like if we use the screen mode when we want to blend something to create a glow effect. Okay, that's the trick. This is the pipeline, I would say. Okay, to work with multiple layers in linear dodge add. By the way, this is the one of the first test render that we get, and that one of the students get from, I think, is Masterclass 44. And this was the idea for the final image. You see there's a moon here, and we have the hangar, and we have the airplane, but everything else, I mean, is kind of dark. And then we have this kind of soft light in here. I mean, I would say that the final render, I don't remember if this is the final render or what, but I don't like this because it's very I would say everything is visible, everything is kind of flat, and I feel like you can tell it's a render. Shaders are not that great. The modeling part was done very quickly. And by the way, what we're going to do is something more dramatic, something like this. And of course, this is way stronger as a result than this one. And let me show you what can we do in order to achieve something like this. Now, first of all, what we have here is this. We have a folder with the moon inside. So it's just a photo of the moon, nothing else. And we have some passes. And now we have only 4 passes because all the other passes were not rendered, or anyway they're here down below here as basically lighting system. Okay, so here we have the ZDAP, here we have the source color, so the textures, and then we have the reflection. Now, how can we use this stuff? The ZDAP would be useful to, I don't know, create some fog, maybe some, I don't know, selections. Maybe we need to select something at a certain point of the image. I mean, I don't know, somewhere in the distance or close to us. The diffuse, basically, the source color pass, we can use this one to make maybe some masks, maybe some, to get some details from the diffuse, from the textures themselves. And then we have the reflection. Of course, we can use the reflection to increase reflection strength and to get some cool effects. Now we have the masks, and as you normally I do, we have like multicolored masks, and as you can see, we miss one black layer at the bottom, and so we make a new layer, Shift F5, black, and that's it. So now we can select what we need to select. And then here we go with different layers, and I kept them normal. Okay, so you can start from this, and let's see what happens. Okay, so this is the normal blending mode for the environment HDRI. So this is basically the result of the HDRI lighting. And if we put an exposure on top of this, we can see that if we go up with the exposure, you can get basically the lighting from the sky. And this is cool, but at the same time, I'm not going to use this probably at first because I don't want this kind of lighting. I don't want this kind of flat and overall over diffuse lighting. I really don't care. Maybe we can keep this to get some informations about the outside, or maybe because it's a little bit like bluish. I don't know. We will see. Okay, we have it. We can use it when we need it. And then we have this, which is not a lighting pass, but it's the raw component diffuse. So it's basically the raw total lighting. And unfortunately, I see there is a few problems here with the model, but we don't care because we can mask that out and we can keep this as the lighting of the scene to help us to get some more light on the airplane. I don't know, maybe. And then we have this nice refraction, which is basically the light passing through this, semi-transparent facade, which is behind the airplane. And it's really cool. We can use this one. And then we have the lighting. You see here, normal mode, this basically spotlights on the top. And then we have this, spotlights inside and some, TV screen here. And then we have this light from the top here that, get this nice, it tells you basically about the airplane itself. And it's very nice. This is basically the key light, okay? And then we have some fake light here on the top again to define this nice shape of the airplane. I like it very much. And then for last, we have this soft light, which is basically here behind the airplane. Okay, so now that we have this, we can start, and I will start from a black background. Okay, so this is basically what I want to do. Okay, this is your file, so I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to start from a new one. So this is mine, and you can do the same. You can follow me in this exercise. And again, I will start to understand which one could be the main light, okay? I would say the light that I can keep at the background. And I would say that I really like this one, okay? This one and the first one I have. So this one and this one, okay? So I keep the background black and I turn this into linear dodge add, okay? So I keep only the bright part of this and I start playing out with the exposure. So I attach an exposure here and I just go up. So there's a couple of things we can do. We can go up with the exposure or we can go down with the gamma, okay? If you go down with the gamma, is kind of a more subtle, more linear effect. Meanwhile, going up with the exposure can give you some very over bright and overexposed areas very quick. Okay, so I prefer to go with the gamma down because you see it gives me more informations and I can read them. Okay, there's nothing like very strong. Meanwhile, if you go up with the exposure, you see you can get something like that very very easily. It's nice. It's nice anyway, but maybe we can keep this for just the most important part of the image. Maybe the focus. We can get boom a very flashing light, very strong point there. Okay, but not now. I'm trying to create something like a background for the entire image. Okay, and I want to say something about this. Most of the time, what we try to do in 3D is to, create a lighting system that, makes everything bright. And that's one of the most, common mistake that you can do. Because if you put a light on everything and everything is very visible, then the image is not really cool. It's not really, I would say, interesting, because you can tell about everything about the image. You can see everything, and so that's not very cool. Meanwhile, if you start by revealing a little bit of the image, little by little, here and there. Some areas are in light, some areas are in shadows. Then, it's a lot better because you can fill the holes, you can fill the missing informations with your own imagination, and that would be way stronger than just showing everything. I know that you need to have something to, I mean, you need to work with clients, and clients normally want to see something, want to see everything, sorry, but is the worst way to start. Okay, so in case your clients force you to see everything, then I would say make a copy of that image and make a copy just for you. And you can't imagine how many times we publish on our website our version of the image, the client published his version, and then 1 week later the client come back and say, oh, Roberto, I've seen your version, I like it more than mine, can I get it? So it's always like this, you need to give them time to understand. Okay, now I like this very much. And you know what, I can try also to add a little bit of color on this. I don't know, maybe we can use a color lookup, or maybe we can use a photo filter or a use duration, with a little bit of colorize. I mean anyway, this is a light, so it's okay to have a little bit of color. So you see, you can really create very weird and crazy results. And the fact that we can, we have different layers, let us do this very easily, I would say. And then we have this, which is something that looks like pass through the glass. So we take this again, linear dodge add, and we can tell, you see, is basically the light passing through these glasses. And I will take away colors from this one, and I will maybe put a colorize also on this one. Maybe let me see what happens. No, I will keep it without colors. So no colorize. Okay, cool. So we get a little bit more of lights from there. Maybe I will go a little bit down here. Okay, cool. And now here we have this, which are the fake light on the wings, and we can get them with linear dodge. And of course we are going for an exposure here, and then you see, very cool, very cool. So let me try to see what we can do to make those light shine a little bit. So a little bit up with exposure. You know what, I'm thinking about making this background like bluish, and then lights will be orange. Could be very cool. Let's try. Wow, this is cool. This is cool. I'm doing it with you guys, so is normally I have no time to play with this kind of stuff, but today is different. Today I have to show you and play with you about this, so I have time to do it. And I will go for a use duration again, and we'll go for something orangey. Oh yes, I love it. This is great. And then we can go with the main light, this one. So again, linear dodge add. Even if I would say that this is, I don't want to see too much of the airplane. I like to see like the silhouette of it. So let me try here with a little bit of exposure. Let me go down with the exposure. Yeah, I like this one. Yes. So it's like you can see the airplane, but still not that much. Okay. And again, we can go with the use duration here and go with something, blue again, because the strong light, it's there at the back. Okay, cool. I don't like the fact that we have a lot of light up there. So this layer here, which is the one that creates lights down there, could be managed in a different way. So I will make a mask and I will just delete, this time I will delete the areas I don't want. So I go up 100%. See? And now it looks a little bit fake because, you know, it's supposed to, there we should get some bounces, but at the same time I can just duplicate this, you know, and I can delete the mask now, and I can, you know, or I can invert the mask, and I can go down with the opacity. See? So we have some light there, but at the same moment, you know, they're not that strong. Even now, this seems too dark. Oops, don't touch the offset, guys. I like the blue reflection of this, but I don't like this dull, you know, color we have at the bottom here, because it's too kind of it's too uniform, I would say. So maybe we can mask this. Let me try with a very squishy brush. Okay. Okay, cool. And now we have the computer's monitor, so I will make a mask here. Maybe we can duplicate this for the lamps on the top. And this will be in linear dodge. And again, exposure. And I'll go up with the exposure of this, because I want those screens to be, you know, very strong. And maybe here we can have a very crazy color, or maybe, you know, I don't know, like blue again. See? It's worth to try. Even red is not bad. Or orange. This is up to you guys, of course. Okay, cool. Very cool. And here we have the lamps at the outside. I'm not a huge fan of this. And even if we need something there, let me see if we have a little bit of more in our, yeah, we have a few informations more, which is cool. You see, this is the power of the 32-bit. You have informations where you think you didn't have. So we can try to put a color lookup. Let me see if we can get something cool here. The color lookup should go after. Let me see. Night from day, and let me see if we can get a little bit. See, lower with the gamma to reveal a little bit of a bluey here. I don't like this lamp there, so I'm going to mask this out. Oh yes. Now it doesn't make no sense to, you know, to have this thing here on this spotlight. The color lookup should not get on top of the spotlight. Okay, cool. I mean, I like the fact that we have this grid now visible, but I don't like this light here because it feels like is revealing, you know, is calling your attention there. I don't like that. Now let me see if we can use the outside, the HDRI we have from the outside, to get a little bit more of bluish to the scene. I'm not a fan of this, I really told you, but you know, at least we can try. Yeah, is adding too much light. No, I don't want that. And we still have too much light anyway. So I would go back in here and let me see what we can do. Let's go down a little bit with the opacity here. This one also. We should have the mask of this. So let's go and search for the mask. Here we go. This blue part here. So control click on the blue channel. And let's try to put this black. But now it doesn't match with the reflection here. So let's fill it white. Okay. I don't think this is gonna work. See, it's basically ruining everything we have done till now. So I'm not going to use the sky and I'm not going to use the row component. I'm just putting this in the passes. So turn up the moon. I believe we should paint a little bit more of light. So let's start going into the masks and searching for the floor, which I suppose is this one. So red, take the red. And now we can have a new folder on top, mask this one, floor, black layer, color dodge. You already know why. Oh, you can do color dodge. Let's do linear dodge. It's too strong, of course. Maybe less orangey. Okay, I like it more. Duplicate this, just the background. Let's see if the reflection can add some more contrast. Let's try to move this to the bottom. The floor is too bright. So we can hide this. Yeah, the floor was too bright. So let's delete this. And I don't like this lamps there. Let's hide them for a second. We can add a little bit of a sky there. So you can search in the sky folder I give you. See, the ground is completely dark, but the sky is still bright. So, oops, made a mistake. Let's bring this at the bottom. Should be time to, make some folders. It's not a bad idea. Unfortunately, we have a mountain there. So we are losing the shape. Let me try flipping horizontally. So in this way, at least the clouds will go back on the left. Let's try with a color lookup. 2 saturate it. Files start to be a little bit, heavy. And that's because, it's a 32-bit file. I will keep those mountains there. I don't care. I can barely see the. I like it. Now I don't like the moon anymore. I mean, the moon can be like somewhere here, like a small dot. We don't care. Even if it's wrong, because the horizon should be here, so the photo here is not actually right, but we can just bring it down here and then scale it up from this point here. Okay, so I can just push this like this. That makes sense. And now that we so now that we have a sky there, it's okay to have this black because it was the same in the photo. I mean, I'm not sure about the exposure of the sky, but we can stay here like 2 hours deciding about that. Okay, you can even have a gradient to have a little bit more of exposure down there and less there at the top. And maybe we can have a little bit of reflection of the sky here, but because of this is pretty wet, so we can go back on the reflection, or you can get the reflection back, which is here somewhere. Yeah, this file is a little bit of a mess, but actually is pretty simple because we have just layers one on top of the other, which adds lighting informations. So here we go. Now we mask this. I mean, the theory behind this work is like simple. You add one layer with just some informations about the light, and then you regulate the exposure, and then you change the color. And if you like it, you keep it. If you don't like it, you don't keep it, and that's it. And really, this is everything you need to know. And the fact that you have different layers, you can basically paint different informations of light, and that's it. Now it's better if you name these layers so you don't get lost while you work. That's a good idea. For example, now I'm looking for the one with informations on the on top of the plane, so it should be somewhere here. Nope. Nope. Should be this one. Oh yes, here we go. So I want to see if we can get a little bit more of light on top of the airplane. And maybe less bluish. Let's keep this one. Let's go down with the opacity. It's really challenging my computer, which is weird. Maybe because also I'm recording, so that makes sense. Okay, cool. So this is the background. And these are the lights that compose the image. And every time you do this, it becomes a different result. You see, I get this, which is basically a monochromatic image. So, it was just basically probably a photo filter here, like tension green or something like that. It's a shame that we don't have enough control with Photoshop at 32-bit, but at the same time we can really work with the power of the light mixer, and we can get something like a little bit like weird and crazy, like this. I really don't like this spotlight. We can maybe paint just the top. I like the grid here. And it's also a problem because you see, you don't understand where those informations come from. Maybe here. Yeah. See, we can add the final exposure, and then I will Control I, so I can just decide by myself where to paint, the strong, see, exposure. This is the final touch I was looking for. See, maybe just a regular round brush. Maybe we can go down with the opacity. See, very cool. And maybe a little bit here. Cool. And then a little bit down here in the background. The fact that we have a 32-bit image allow us to, you see, add more than one layer of exposure, so you can really do wherever you want. See, Control I. And then I paint with a very big brush. Just to get a little bit of more, of the blue we got in the background of the airplane. The brain likes to make connections. So if you have the same color twice, here and there, your brain will love that. And we can, restore the moon. Be a lot smaller. Maybe there. Maybe not, like an egg. Maybe kind of round. Here we go. Again. Yeah, the computer is stressed out by this 32-bit thing. And I think we can go up with the exposure a little bit. I really like this. I really like these colors. This and this could be the classic image you have for the cover, of the project, and the ones that really tells you 10% about the project, or maybe less, but at least is very is there is an impact, there is some feelings, there is some mood, very strong mood, and it could become the icon of the project. Okay, and then of course this is 32-bit, so you can duplicate this image into another file, press new, you go here, mode 16-bit, don't merge, and you get the image 16-bit or even 8-bit, because then you just need to save it. Okay, you don't need to do anything else. So you go here, save as, and you save a JPEG. Okay, and that's it. Now it's your turn to try and have fun.